Shiloh Jolie-Pitt has been in the public eye her entire life. Over the years, she's gone through more changes than you might realize.
Shiloh Jolie-Pitt entered the world on May 27, 2006 in Namibia, Africa, and let us tell you, she made a pretty iconic debut. People magazine featured Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie with their newborn on the cover, and according to The Hollywood Reporter, the issue sold 2.2 million copies. The magazine cover is known as one of the highest-paying baby covers, as Jolie and Pitt were allegedly paid $4.1 million. The two were reported to have donated the money to charities that help support children across Africa. While visiting Shiloh and her parents in the hospital after she was born, Angelina's brother Haven told People, "I walked in the room and it was so overwhelming I had to walk out. To see the father, mother, daughter, it was such a beautiful image that it overtook me." When Shiloh was born, she already had loving siblings at home waiting for her arrival: Maddox, Pax, and Zahara Jolie-Pitt. It wasn't long until Shiloh became a big sister herself. Her two younger siblings, twins Knox and Vivian Jolie-Pitt, were born in 2008. When Shiloh Jolie-Pitt was young, she quickly started showing traits and features similar to her parents. She began looking more and more like Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt every day, and let's be honest, that is not a bad thing. According to the Daily Mail, Jolie spoke with Look magazine in December 2007 about how Shiloh stands out amongst the rest of the Jolie-Pitt family. She said, "She looks like Brad. It's funny because she's almost going to be the outcast in the family because she's blonde and blue-eyed."
Shoot, you think so?
Jolie later explained to Vanity Fair in 2010 that she feels her personality was most similar to Shiloh's when she was a young child. She stated that Shiloh was, quote, goofy and verbal, which she said were early signs of a performer. She added, "I used to get dressed up in costumes and jump around, but at some point I got closed off, darker. Then as I had kids and got older, being goofy, lighter, it all came back." In 2008, Brad Pitt revealed to Oprah Winfrey that when his daughter Shiloh Jolie-Pitt was nearly 2 years old, she expressed that she wanted to start going by the name John or Peter instead of her given name. Pitt and Angelina Jolie were happy to accommodate. He shared, "She only wants to be called John or Peter, so it's a Peter Pan thing." He explained how a typical conversation would go in their home. "So we've got to call her John. Shy, do you want? John, I'm John." The former couple didn't think twice about calling their daughter John, and they made sure to help her feel seen, supported, and understood. Jolie spoke with the Daily Mail about her request and noted that it is nothing people should be thinking heavily about. She shared how Shiloh's preference wasn't a big deal to their family, saying, "Some kids wear capes and want to be Superman, and she wants to be like her brothers. It's who she is. It's been a surprise to us and it's really interesting, but she's so much more than that. She's funny and sweet and pretty, but she does love a tie. These days, she seems comfortable continuing to go by the name Shiloh again." Talk about a star in the making. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie quickly incorporated their daughter into their work at about 10 months old. You may have recognized Shiloh Jolie-Pitt in her dad's award-winning film The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. According to People, Pitt suggested that Shiloh fill in and play co-star Cate Blanchett's character as a baby in the film, when a pair of twins who were originally hired were misbehaving on set. Not only did she get to work with her dad on a major film, but Shiloh has also influenced some of the roles her mother has taken on as well. In an exclusive interview with Entertainment Tonight, Angelina Jolie revealed that her daughter played a significant part in her accepting a role in The One and Only Ivan. She shared, "Well, Shiloh years ago told me that she had read a book that she loved and she wanted me to read it."
A gorilla? Who draws? Now that's something!
Angelina Jolie is a well-known humanitarian. She has dedicated years of service as a special envoy for the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, also known as the UNHCR organization. According to Us Weekly, in 2015, Jolie continued her activism efforts alongside her daughter, Shiloh Jolie-Pitt, as they took a trip to southeastern Turkey in honor of World Refugee Day. During this visit, Jolie gave a speech voicing her concerns for the country. "We should call this what it is, not just a refugee crisis, but a crisis of global security and governance that is manifesting itself in the worst refugee crisis ever recorded, and a time of mass displacement." According to Pop Sugar, Shiloh and her mother also took a trip to Lebanon and spent time with a Syrian girl that Jolie had met during a previous trip for the UNHCR. It's no surprise that Jolie has done wonderful work around the world and is now passing down her humanitarian efforts and compassion to her children. In an interview with People, Jolie stated, "Shiloh is very aware that I hold refugee families in high regard and has been asking to come on missions and meet them for many years." Shiloh Jolie-Pitt can typically be found strolling through Hollywood alongside her mother and other members of their famous family, but she has friends outside of her siblings, of course. In July 2019, she was spotted hanging out with Stranger Things star Millie Bobby Brown. According to TMZ, the two were seen spending time together outside of LA, grabbing lunch with Shiloh's sister Zahara Jolie-Pitt. In honor of National Best Friends Day, Brown gave a big shout-out on her Instagram story in June 2019 to her two favorite gals, Shiloh and Zahara. She showed her two besties her appreciation in a story with the caption, "Best Friends for L." From a young age, Shiloh Jolie-Pitt has been known for her gender-neutral fashion. When Angelina Jolie was on the cover of Vanity Fair in 2010, she spoke about Shiloh's style, saying, "Shiloh, we feel, has Montenegro style. It's how people dress there. She likes to dress like a boy. She wants to be a boy, so we had to cut her hair. She likes to wear boys' everything. She thinks she's one of the brothers." Shiloh's fashion choices have truly evolved over time as she has experimented with new and unique looks. Although her style has changed, one thing that has remained the same is her ability to stay true to herself. In May 2020, a source told Entertainment Tonight that her father, Brad Pitt, is completely supportive in whatever choices his daughter makes. Brad is so proud of Shiloh and who she has become. He loves that she always stays true to herself and is so good to her brothers and sisters. Shiloh Jolie-Pitt turned heads at the October 2021 UK premiere of Marvel's Eternals, wearing one of her mother's dresses. Angelina Jolie originally wore the black and white Dior dress to the Los Angeles press conference for Maleficent Mistress of Evil back in 2019. Although the dress was once long enough to touch the floor, Shiloh opted to have it shortened above her knee for the special event. This isn't the first time she modified one of her mom's dresses either. According to W Magazine, Shiloh altered the Gabriella Hearst dress that Jolie wore at the Women for Bees event in July 2021 for the US premiere of Eternals. Whether she's wearing a hoodie or a dress, she has proven that she can rock just about anything on the red carpet. And Angelina Jolie is officially the coolest mom ever for letting her kids wear her clothing.
Even halfway around the world, it was impossible for the Jolie-Pitts to put distance between themselves and the paparazzi. In 2010, photographers tracked the family all the way to Budapest, where they spotted Shiloh Jolie-Pitt and her siblings at a playground. Fans marveled at how quickly the little celeb was growing. Shiloh's flaxen hair was cropped to her shoulders, with a tuft of bangs that swept across her forehead. The father-daughter resemblance was uncanny. Shiloh's hair harkened back to the long, untamed locks that Brad Pitt sported back in the 90s. Taking note of the haircut, some observers were quick to label the tot's appearance as tomboyish. The 2014 premiere of Unbroken was a family affair for the Jolie-Pitts, who hit the red carpet to support Angelina Jolie's directorial work on the film. Papa Brad Pitt led the way, flanked by Shiloh Jolie-Pitt and her brothers Maddox and Pax. The foursome were all decked out in their freshest suits and ties. Shiloh sported sleek blonde strands that were gelled back and pushed to the side. Although she was only 8 years old, the mini icon proved that her hair game was top tier. As Shiloh grew older, tabloids began taking aim at her appearance. Tacky headlines sensationalized Shiloh's style by evoking outdated gender stereotypes and floating some seriously inappropriate questions about the child's identity. Some tabloids went as far as to claim that Shiloh was blossoming into a boy. Bizarrely, one tabloid tried to stir up gender-normative drama over Shiloh's preference for playing with toy dinosaurs instead of dolls. In an interview with Reuters, Jolie was steadfast about supporting her daughter regardless of her identity. The Salt actor stated, "I think she is fascinating, the choices she is making, and I would never be the kind of parent to force somebody to be something they are not. I think that is just bad parenting. Children should be allowed to express themselves in whatever way they wish, without anybody judging them, because it is an important part of their growth."
When you know that your kids love each other, you feel like they're going to be okay and they're going to always have each other.
In 2015, Shiloh Jolie-Pitt joined her mother Angelina Jolie and sister Zahara at the 28th Annual Kids' Choice Awards. The Giddy trio was front and center to celebrate Jolie's performance in Maleficent, for which she won Favorite Villain. Shiloh flaunted her signature style, a cute graphic tee and a comfy jacket. The little starlet also rocked a shaggy bob that was trimmed just below the nape of her neck. Shiloh's straight locks were parted to the side and pushed behind her ears to show off her blue eyes and bright smile. It was the perfect look for such a laid-back, kid-centric affair. When the presenter announced Jolie's win, the crowd cheered wildly. Shiloh and Zahara beamed with pride as their mother accepted the coveted orange blimp. In her acceptance speech, Jolie told the audience, "I want to say that when I was little, like Maleficent, I was told that I was different. And then one day, I realized something. Something that I hope you all realize. Different is good. When someone tells you that you are different, smile and hold your head up and be proud." We can't help feeling like Jolie's speech held a secret message for Shiloh. Perhaps Jolie was subtly reminding her daughter to disregard the tabloids and stay true to herself. Shiloh Jolie-Pitt had a mini Brad Pitt moment in 2019 when she rocked a medium-length cut that was parted to the side and styled with a little bit of product at the European premiere of Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. At the time, only 3 years had passed since Angelina Jolie famously filed for divorce from Pitt. Despite being separated, the exes were involved in fiery legal disputes pertaining to their shared assets and custody of their children. Jolie confessed to Vanity Fair at the time, "The last few years haven't been the easiest since when I first played her. I've been through different things in my life, and I was happy to play Maleficent again. She made me feel strong again." Still, the actor and her children presented a united front at the 2019 event. In a testament to their resilience, Shiloh and her siblings appeared as happy and healthy as ever. While Jolie and Zahara opted for full glam and dazzling black dresses, Shiloh turned heads in a black jacket and crisp white shirt. The teen was noticeably taller and sporting a set of braces. Still, the mini celeb was the spitting image of her dad. Even her body language resembled Pitt's reserved yet confident persona. Shiloh's dapper, medium-length cut had fans reminiscing on some of her father's past red carpet looks. After all, medium-length hair is a standout look for Pitt, who has rocked numerous variations of the style. In 2021, Shiloh Jolie-Pitt took her place as a style icon when she hit the red carpet in London for the premiere of Eternals. In an unexpected pivot, the teen queen ditched her usual tuxedo for an exquisite black and white Dior gown. The garment's original floor-length hem was tailored to the knees on Shiloh, which gave it a fresh and more casual vibe. However, Shiloh was not finished shocking the masses with her surprise new look. In sharp contrast to her classic short styles, the young celebrity donned long blonde hair that was pulled back into a tidy bun. Days earlier, at the film's Italian premiere, Shiloh rocked an elaborate updo that was parted into 3 sections and featured a labyrinth of French braids. Throughout 2021 and 2022, the junior celeb rocked a laid-back bun simple style in Los Angeles, London, Rome, and beyond. Most of the time, her signature blonde locks were pulled back into a slightly messy top-knot style bun. Occasionally, Shiloh opted for a ponytail pulled halfway through for a different variation of the look. Shiloh seems to know the value of having a go-to hairstyle that's low maintenance enough for her busy lifestyle. Shiloh was certainly committed to the laid-back bun, but she wasn't afraid to add a little variety to her look. In May of 2022, Shiloh had a brief color moment when she experimented with red hair dye. The starlet appeared to be sporting a temporary dye that transformed her golden locks into a light brick red color. Shiloh's style evolution continues to captivate fans, and it seems like her parents have a lot of respect for her unique and creative style. In 2020, a source told Entertainment Tonight that Brad Pitt praises Shiloh's individuality and loves that she always stays true to herself.
As Shiloh Jolie-Pitt started walking around with her family, we got a good idea of just how tall she'd grow to be. In 2010, Shiloh was seen walking through Narita International Airport in Japan with her mum and siblings, Maddox, Pax, and Zahara, and it was pretty clear she was already growing tall. That's because she already seems to be giving her siblings a run for their money in the height department, despite being younger than them. The candid paparazzi shots showed that Shiloh, who held on tight to her mum's hand, was not too far off being as tall as Pax. Pax is around 2.5 years older than Shiloh, who was 4 years old at the time. 4 years later, in 2014, we saw just how much Shiloh had shot up. The youngster appeared alongside Brad Pitt, her grandparents, and two of her siblings, Maddox and Pax, on the red carpet, who had gathered together to promote Pitt's movie, Unbroken. Though Shiloh hadn't quite caught up to Pax in the height department just yet, it was pretty clear she was growing up fast. Shiloh was just 8 years old at the time and looked just like her mum as she posed with her family members. But it was her height that was a real sight to see. The pictures showed that Shiloh was already as tall as her dad's chest and was only a few inches shorter than both of her brothers. Also catching our eye? Just how dapper Shiloh had become. The youngster was clearly starting to develop her own sharp style as she rocked a suit and a stylish short blonde do. Around this time, Jolie opened up about how Shiloh's personality was growing just as quickly as her body. Jolie said that she offered her child the chance to play a big role in her movie, Maleficent, telling Elle, "I asked Shiloh about being Aurora, and she laughed in my face. She said she'd be a horned creature."
Well, we joked about Shiloh being the older Aurora.
Oh, okay.
And she thought it was the most ridiculous thing in the world. No, she would never even wear a dress.
The role eventually went to Vivian Jolie-Pitt, who looks just like Shiloh.
Okay, ready, Viv?
We saw Shiloh make another red carpet appearance with her family in 2019, only this time things were a little different. Shiloh was clearly a lot taller on the red carpet for Angelina Jolie's movie Maleficent, Mistress of Evil than she was when she posed with her family a few years earlier. In fact, it appeared Shiloh was very close to being the same height as her brother Pax. Shiloh was pretty much towering over her younger twin siblings, Knox and Vivian at the time, though the two still had plenty of time to catch up in the height department. Fans certainly took note of how big Shiloh had gotten, with plenty sharing their thoughts on her impressive height on social media. One fan wrote on X, formerly known as Twitter, after seeing shots of Shiloh posing with her family that year, "Shiloh is tall and looked like Angelina." By the time 2021 rolled around, 15-year-old Shiloh was officially the tallest member of the Jolie-Pitt children. In photos showing Angelina Jolie posing on the red carpet with her kids, it was pretty clear that Shiloh had grown to be the tallest member of the clan. As the jet-setting family members lined up against a dark backdrop for the premiere of Eternals in London, even in flat shoes, Shiloh was several inches taller than her older siblings Zahara and Maddox. And Shiloh wasn't too far off being the same height as her mum either. Plenty of fans noticed just how tall she had gotten, including blogger Perez Hilton, who tweeted, "Angelina Jolie brought her kids to the Eternals premiere. Shiloh is so tall." But it wasn't just Shiloh showing off her height in the UK, as Jolie and Pitt's twins had also shot up. Despite being several years younger, they too were taller than Zahara, and Knox had even reached a similar height to his much older brother Maddox. The twins were 13 at the time, while Zahara was 16 and Maddox was 20. It looked like Shiloh may not have been quite done growing in 2021, though she stayed a little more under the radar in the years that followed the family red carpet appearance in London. As for how tall Shiloh actually is, though her exact height is unknown, she appeared to be around 5'5" or taller when walking alongside her mum. According to the CDC growth chart, Shiloh has now likely reached her adult height.